Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Burner Account Show. As usual, and as always, you got your boy Big Joe.
You got your boy Julio the Don.
We're talking tonight about some recent activity within the coaching search of the Dallas Cowboys, as we have gotten some new information. One of the biggest things that we learned was Ben Johnson is now a Chicago Bears head coach, and one of the most, if not the hottest, free agent uh, possibility out there for the next head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He was damn near the hottest. If he wasn't the hottest, he was damn near the hottest.
Yep.
And he's one of the bright young minds that everybody was kind of clamoring after. Well, almost everybody, because I don't think the Cowboys were ever really serious about it. And part of that was the fact that I do believe that he made it kind of clear that he had no interest in coming here. So it was a mutual agreement of we don't want you and I don't want to be there kind
Yep.
of thing. So the Cowboys never really showed true interest in Ben Johnson. But yeah, he has gone to the Chicago Bears. The rumored uh, situation for him as far as contract goes is I think it's somewhere in the ballpark of like 5 years, 15 a year, somewhere in there. And for a guy that's highly sought after, I think that's a good way to start your head coaching tenure is getting paid like that, and you get to attach yourself to one of the younger teams in the NFL who has a great young quarterback, and you have an opportunity to really establish yourself there. The Bears, I do believe, though, did say that he's not going to have say over the roster, that it was going to be more of a, hey, we're going to kind of do things our way, and he's going to kind of lead the players on the field. But as far as personnel and stuff like that, that's ultimately the front office's job. Who he'll bring on for his staff is pretty interesting. We won't get too deep into that just because, I mean, it's the Bears and we don't care.
It's the Bears, yeah.
Yeah. But it is interesting to see that a big name is off the board and where that leaves the Dallas Cowboys. Julio, when Ben Johnson fell off the board for our head coach draft, what were your initial thoughts on that, man? Like, what did you think about that name coming off?
And for me, it was well. I guess we missed on that boat. That boat has sailed. Again, like you said, is one of the brightest minds in the NFL as far as a offensive uh, mind goes. And I know that we've talked previously about having a more offensive minded coach as opposed to continuing this trend of defensive coaches that have literally led us in nowhere at this point.
Right.
So for me, it's one of those things that, hey, we saw the boat come by, it came pretty close, and then it just kind of sailed off into the sunset. We didn't get to see any more of that. And now he's the Chicago Bears coach. So um, it's going to be very, very interesting to see next season, especially because he stayed in the NFC North. He will have the Lions as his rival now at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see those games now. I'm actually kind of excited to see that game when before it was kind of like one of those, it's the Bears. And when you really think
Mhm.
about it, a lot of people think that way. Even their own fans, it's like another season of disappointment, another season of, yeah, we have some sort of faith, and then all of a sudden it's like the Bears did it again. Here we go again. Bad news Bears all
That
over
sounds like
again.
us.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's going to be very interesting to see where Ben Johnson, how Ben Johnson can not only change the mindset, but the culture there, the way that he's going to be implementing his game plan into what's already there. I know, like you mentioned, he's not going to have any say so when it comes to bringing new people in or anything like that. But, and I mean that from a football player's perspective. But outside of that, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I actually feel like the Bears may turn their program around now that they have somebody
Uh,
like Ben Johnson. You
yeah.
know, somebody with that mindset, somebody with his creativity on the offensive side. The sky's the limit. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I do think that there is that opportunity to kind of get to see what he is as a leader of men goes, and we'll see if ultimately all the hype around him was well deserved or if it was just another right situation, right time. That's how you ended up where you ended up.
Yep.
But that will be interesting to see that, especially because he will be facing the Detroit Lions twice a year now.
Hmm.
And we'll see what the Detroit Lions look like with a new OC in the mix now that he is gone.
Yeah.
So there's definitely gonna be some turnover at least of the coaches because I think Aaron Glenn as well on the defensive side is looking for a job, and there is an opportunity for him to interview here with the Dallas Cowboys. But the big rumor right now is we've already interviewed Robert Saleh. They said he crushed it. Leslie
Mhm.
Frazier came in. They said he impressed. He's very, well thought out. He's kind of coming in with a plan of, hey, this is the kind of culture I bring and stuff like that. We have interviewed, who else have we interviewed?
Kellen
Kellen
Moore.
Moore.
Hmm.
And now we're also interviewing Brian Schottenheimer. And Shan Shariff of 105.3 The Fan has been all over it since this weekend. He's been like, hey, I'm hearing rumors, rumblings that Brian Schottenheimer could be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And when I tell you, when I read that, I was like, oh my God, what are we doing here? It's starting to feel like we're building up all this anticipation for no reason because Jerry and Steven already have an idea. My thing is I feel like maybe they're panicking right now. I ultimately think they thought Mike McCarthy was going to take whatever deal they threw at him. He left. Now, he was in the mix for the Bears head coaching position. He didn't get that. I don't know how many other positions are out there that are attractive to Mike McCarthy, but it's starting to look like, man, everybody played this hand piss poor, and now everybody's in a panic
Yep.
because the Jones boys are like, we went from all these names and everybody's kind of excited, and then out of left field comes Brian Schottenheimer,
And it's like, what?
and he's been an offensive coordinator in multiple different spots in the NFL. Ultimately, his offenses have always sucked, so
Yep.
that's terrible. And now we're gonna bring him in. It makes sense in the fact that we're familiar with him. He's got ties to the Cowboys. He's got ties to Dak. Everybody kind of inside the locker room. Everybody's high on Schottenheimer as a coach and a person.
Hmm.
But what does that mean as far as leading the NFL's highest grossing franchise?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can like somebody, but that doesn't mean they're qualified to do what he's ultimately interviewing to do. And he has interviewed as of today. And Shan Shariff is now like, I'm hearing that an offer may be coming soon,
And
which is
that's the
even more
scary
like
part, man.
mind blowing.
Yeah, that's the scary part because you just finished saying it. He hasn't, yes, he's been in several programs already trying to implement his offense, trying to get that going. And yet I haven't seen him succeed anywhere or make a franchise successful, a team successful at that. So it's one of those things to where you're like, man, what are we really doing here? What is I thought the goal here was to win games, to make it to the playoffs, to make it to a championship game, and to win it. That is the point of playing this game. Right now, it feels so much like a more of a okay, what big name can we bring in, or what name can we bring in to get ourselves up? We need ourselves higher than where they are now, and I just don't see us making an actual good decision for the benefit of the team. I see us making more of a business decision, whether it be this guy, we're going to be able to pick up this guy cheap,
Cheap.
probably put him on a 1 to 2 year deal for now, And then in a year or two, we're going to be able to say, okay, if you don't want to take the deal that we offer you, then guess what? You're out of here. We'll pick up somebody else and bring them in and do the exact recycle, rinse and repeat. That's what it feels like we're doing at this point. And for me right now, the two names that stick out in that whole process that we've interviewed so far are the names Kellen Moore and Brian Schottenheimer. Those are the two of the ones that are at the top. From if I'm sitting in that main office, those are the two names that are sitting at the top of the board. Because why? One, the players are familiar with both of those coaches, and two, you already know that they're yes men. They're going to do whatever Daddy Jerry wants. Daddy Jerry is going to get. If you want so and so to sit out, we're going to sit this player out. If you want this player to come in, we're going to play this player, and that's the way that it's going to work. So honestly, man, it's super disappointing because you have coaches that are available that can fill the role of our head coach, make a difference, change the culture, make the players better than what they are, be great leaders of men, and yet you're not making an effort to reach out to those coaches to be like, okay, what can you how can we work together so that we can make the team great again? Instead, you want to sit there and be like, well, I bought the team and I want to run it the way I want to run it. So I'm going to do what I want to do at the end of the day. So
Yeah, I
it's
do. I do think it ultimately comes down to familiarity and just how cheap the Cowboys want to be. I do think that we know this guy. He's got ties to us. Okay, that's one thing. Then it's, well, maybe he doesn't have a lot of options. There's not a lot of people clamoring to bring him in, so maybe he'll take a cheap deal.
yeah,
He'll take whatever we offer him. And I do also think that maybe the Jones boys are of the mindset of, well, if we give him an opportunity, we'll do it under the understanding that Jason Witten has to come in here and he has to be groomed as the heir apparent. Mike McCarthy didn't like that, but maybe Schottenheimer will take it because he gets to coach and he gets to work with Witt, and we get our coach in waiting on the staff, and then it just makes sense down the line. But if you're playing the long game like that, Jerry, you don't got years and years and years
mm-mm.
to wait for to groom a guy. And I mean, the goal is win now, not win 2, 3, 4 years from now. And I don't see the Cowboys having that urgency to get out there and make a splash like that, which is disappointing because it was again an opportunity for the Cowboys to make a splash move, get the fan base excited, and show the fans we took this serious. We knew this was coming, and we had a plan in place. Right now, it doesn't look like there was a plan. It's full
No.
blown panic mode. Like,
Yep.
we're just, you know,
Scrambling to
previewing
see
right
what we
now.
can find out. Yeah. We're
Jerry
scrambling to figure
Wildcat.
out what's
He,
going
he's
on.
just trying to figure out what he can do, and I think he's if he brings in somebody like a Schottenheimer, he's going to try to spin it. He's going to try to be the salesman. He's going to try to give you all the reasons why this was a genius move.
Dealing that hope.
And the Cowboys fans, they're just not buying it anymore. And I think if he makes a move like that, he's going to piss a lot of loyal fans off. And it's just going to turn this franchise into more of a laughing stock around the league. So we'll see, man. We're going to keep you guys up to date on this coaching carousel, figure out who the Cowboys might bring in. But right now, ultimately, it does look like Brian Schottenheimer could well be your next head coach here in Dallas. And let us know in the comments. Do you like the move? Do you hate the move? Do you not care about the move? Me personally, I don't like the idea of it. I think it's dumb, and I think it's lazy, and I think it's cheap, and I think it's a bunch of crap. But it's not my team. I don't write the checks.
Yeah.
I
True.
just tune in every Sunday and watch the clown show come to town. So
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what we're set up for.
gonna be a brush fire for sure. We're just gonna watch it burn. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we do want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us, watch this video. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. And until the next one, Peace.
Peace.